That's real. Don't talk to George now. That's real. That's real. Don't talk to George now. That's real. So now, you know. So now, you know. Shape the emerging UAP narrative. Remember those words. Shape the emerging UAP narrative. Remember those words. Shape the emerging UAP narrative. Remember those words. Shape the emerging UAP narrative. Remember those words, folks. Those words. Shape. 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 Remember those words. I'm an intel guy. 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 I'm an intel guy.
Masses. Yeah.
Shape it. Shape it. Shape it. Shape it.
Masses. Yeah.
Shape it. Shape it. Shape it. Shape it. That's real. Don't talk to George now. That's real. That's real. Don't talk to George now. That's real. So now, you know. So now, you know.
I'm a wanker. I'm a wanker. 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 I'm a wanker. I'm a wanker. 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 I'm a wanker. I'm a wanker. 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 I'm a wanker. I'm a wanker. 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 Wanker.
Really two options. Either people are mentally ill and disturbed, which some of them are. Some of these debunkers are mentally ill. Really two options. Either people are mentally ill and disturbed, which some of them are. Some of these debunkers are mentally ill. Really two options. Either people are mentally ill and disturbed, which some of them are. Some of these debunkers are mentally ill. Really two options. Either people are mentally ill and disturbed, which some of them are. Some of these debunkers are mentally ill.
For example, Trump's been briefed. When I know, for example, Trump's been briefed, he's scared. He's scared they're going to kill him if he reveals what he knows.
You can do it, baby. I love you so much. You can do it, baby. I love you so much.
He's scared.
You can do it, baby. I love you so much. You can do it, baby. I love you so much.
He's scared.
Bad news, bad things are happening. Mom, I'm sorry. Bad news, bad things are happening. Mom, I'm sorry.
He's scared.
Bad news, bad things are happening. Mom, I'm sorry. Bad news, bad things are happening. Mom, I'm sorry.
He's scared.
This David Grusch guy sounds like a nut. The guy sounds like a nut. This David Grusch guy sounds like a nut. This David Grusch guy sounds like a nut.
We build craft that look like their craft. They build craft that look like ours. Drones. We build craft that look like their craft. They build craft that look like ours. Drones. We build craft that look like their craft. They build craft that look like ours. Drones. We build craft that look like their craft. They build craft that look like ours. Drones.
You can do it, baby. I love you so much.
We build craft that look like their craft. They build craft that look like ours.
You can do it, baby. I love you so much.
We build craft that look like their craft. They build craft that look like ours.
If I call your mother a hooker, I don't care. If I call your mother a hooker, I don't care. If I call your mother a hooker, I don't care. If I call your mother a hooker, I don't care. I'm an intel guy. 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 I don't care. I'm an intel guy. That we're making movies and video games out of. My spirit guides from me. They came from me. They came from me. They came from me. Creative arts that we're making movies and video games out of. My spirit guides from me. They came from me. They came from me. They came from me. Dreaming revolution, whatever you want to call it. I call it my intellectual property. Dreaming revolution, whatever you want to call it. I call it my intellectual property. Dreaming revolution, whatever you want to call it. I call it my intellectual property. Dreaming revolution, whatever you want to call it. I call it my intellectual property. Dark Fleet is a fictional space group out in space. It is the story. It is the story. It is the story. It is the story. Dark Fleet is a fictional space group out in space. It is the story. It is the story. It is the story. It is the story. Yes, I did make up stories about the secret space program out in space. Yes, I did make up stories.
Dark corners of the night, secrets hidden from the light. Whispers turn to screams, shattering all your dreams. Eyes wide open now, truth you can't disavow. Echoes through the halls, crashing all your walls. Truthseekers exposing the truth. Truthseekers coming for you. Uncover the lies, open your eyes. Shadows try to hide, no place for them to bide. Light will pierce you through.
Greetings and salutations, and welcome back, friends. Tonight, I will just be doing sort of a montage of updates on the biggest grifters in UFO land. Now, certainly, the UFO land is filled with tremendous grifters, and I'm fond of this saying. I'm going to paraphrase myself. But I've said this sort of thing many times. It has been said by wiser men than me that the UFO community is filled with liars, grifters, scammers, con artists, criminals, and those are just the good guys. And it's interesting to me that a community that essentially, you know, tells people that they're going to tell you the hidden truth that the government doesn't tell you is so filled with pathological liars, with convicted criminals, some of which have child related convictions in their background. But to be clear, I'm not accusing any of the people on tonight's chopping block of that specific thing, but it's well known that there's many people pretending to be whistleblowers. For example, Charles McNeil. He's in a Maryland state prison right now. He's a convicted child predator and bank robber. Then he tried to get a 16-year-old girl to rob a bank for him while he was waiting for, I think, the jury trial to begin on his first bank robbery. These are not trustworthy people. And of course, all of them have this history of exaggeration and embellishment and over promising and under delivering. There's some things that they all have in common. And one of the big ones is that they have to hype everything up. So what happens is they generally overhype and under deliver. They have to hype things up so much because they don't have actual real evidence. And then, as the stories unfold, we find out, oh, you really embellished and exaggerated the importance of this story that you are selling, right? But it is what it is. This is where we're at, and this is where we find ourselves. But I find it interesting that these are the people that are supposed to give us the truth, and yet they get caught lying all the time. And apparently that doesn't matter in the UFO community. As we have shown you, for example, we caught Linda Moulton Howe selling completely and totally fake pictures of aliens multiple times. She's still one of the most highly paid speakers at UFO conferences. Shouldn't the people running the UFO conferences say, you keep getting caught selling fake shit, we're not going to hire you to sell more fake nonsense to, people in our community? But this is not what we get. Because this really is like the fairy tale make-believe world of make-believe. I mean it. It's just, I am just constantly shocked and amused. So I'm fond of the saying, we need a specific, God damn it. 1 second. For those unaware, so I lost my train of thought here. I'm trying to share some Christopher Bledsoe material, but he uses copyrighted material. That's another thing I want to put on the record. The griftiest grifters use copyrighted music so that people like me can't show you them lying in videos, because the ad revenue will go to them or to the owner of the music if you tell people the truth. So this is a common tactic we've seen. Third Phase of Moon use it. We've seen many people use it. And just a quick mention, because I'm not Beggar Side Phil, we are a viewer-supported show, so we have a very reasonable goal of 50 super chats tonight of $2 or better. We are a viewer-supported show, and we would appreciate your support. And if we hit the funding goal for this broadcast, we'll be doing some extra overtime for you. And Gome, already hearing the call of the goal, saying praise the cash. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. We'll catch up with the live chat, see if we have any more of those. Yeah, not yet. Okay, so maybe I should pull a Dark Side Phil beggar sampler, right? Like, can we get one super chat, one PayPal pledge, one gifted sub over on Kick, one new person become a member, one gifted membership on YouTube, maybe one buy me a coffee, get some momentum going. Who will be the first to do each of those things? It's a house with two and one for the goal says they're liars and they're poor. Yes. Well, some of them are absolutely loaded rich from this stuff, right? Disrespectful says, put evidence in a separate video with a link so the music is not in your main video. Well, it's right at the end of one. I'm using this YouTube thing to cut the music, but not the rest of it. And we'll see if that happens. I know that the video is 4 minutes and 33 seconds, and there's only 30 seconds of the video. That's a problem. But if it doesn't catch it, it says editing in progress. And this is unfortunate because the first UFO grifter on the chopping block tonight was supposed to be Christopher Bledsoe. But we have to wait for this editing thing. So we'll see if we can't just, cover some of the other grifters in the meantime. Also, I wanted to take a moment for a show announcement to announce that we were down a moderator. And so everybody kept telling me that I have to choose a new moderator. And I didn't really want to, I kind of feel like the chat's fine. But we have some very long-time show supporters, and one of them has been in our audience, near as I could tell, for every show for years. Every show for years, she's there. She's always very respectful and very popular with the live chatters. She's kind of a fixture here. So I thought, who better to make a chat room moderator than a longtime show supporter? So welcome, Arlene Atkins-Zell is now a chat room moderator. Everybody please welcome her and be nice or she'll ban your ass, right? Be nice to Arlene, right? Fat Chick Thriller says, what a queen. Happy to see Fat Chick Thriller here, but I'm not happy to see no dono bombs yet. What's going on, Fat Chick Thriller? Are you broke? We haven't seen a dono bomb from Fat Chick Thriller for like a little bit of time here, right? Charles McDonald is here with the kind and generous $6 Australian. And one for the goal says every cent hurts them. Yes, every dollar that you send me is one less dollar that the UFO grifters get. So, yeah. But we appreciate. You keep missing my streams. Yeah, listen, my kids need to eat, Fat Chick Thriller. Stop missing the streams. Start dropping those dono bombs, right? I got to go grocery shopping this week. I might have to eat lunch meat sandwiches if I don't hit my goal tonight, right? I'm going to have a couple of days off this week. I'm not going to be able to get, takeout. So house with one for the goal says, smells broken here, Fat Chick Thriller. Yeah, I never would have thought I would have seen Fat Chick Thriller smelling broken in the live chat, but here we are, going with $2. Might be back to lunch meat sandwiches. Yeah. Suffer, Stephen Kids. Back to lunch meat you go, says Fat Chick Thriller. So I guess we're going to begin with Corey Goode, who for a long time was one of my favorite grifters, but then he screwed up his own grift by suing everybody. Essentially, here's what happened. Corey Goode went around for like 5 or 8 years telling everybody he was in the secret space program. He went on secret space missions and all of this kind of stuff. And then he got greedy and he decided he would start suing all of his online critics. And essentially, what his online critics were saying is he's making these stories up. These are not true stories. They're not real. He's probably never even been to space. So he sued all of them for having the audacity to question his secret space Buck Rogers, narratives. And then he admitted under oath in one of those court cases that he made up the stories. He's never been to space. It was beautiful. Just go buy some eggs. No, man. No. Yeah, and everybody better be nice tonight because Arlene Atkins-Zell is watching you, right? Fat Chick Thriller celebrates 3 months of membership. Congratulations for that. But what have you done for me lately, Fat Chick Thriller? Come on, you want to drop those dono bombs and be the big MVP of dono bombs tonight, right? All right. So, just to display how far the falling has happened, Corey Goode used to get tens of thousands, if not more, of views a day on his YouTube channel. And he had a tremendously huge following for a long, long time, for years and years and years. But as they say, pride goes before the fall. So he was so prideful that he should be the only person selling secret space stories that he lost his mind, started suing even his business partners who helped him make documentaries. He started suing them and more. Wow, look at this. Brokey is giving us 99 cents. A 99-cent. That is not a dono bomb, Fat Chick Thriller, but we'll take it. It's not even one for the goal. He says Suffolk Cambion. Damn, I knew I should have been nice, right? And just asked for the dono bombs. Yes, and Trippy Mac says, I hope today's podcast is praised by the cash. Well, sure. Every show should be praised by the cash. So I want to take a moment just to display what happens when one of these grifts comes crashing down, because Corey Goode's grift has come crashing down so terribly, so horribly, that there are brand new YouTube channels that are beating him. Look at this. 431 video views. That was on February 6th. Look at this. 500 views. That was on February 17th. He used to get tens of thousands. Look at this. This is great. On March 2nd, he got 13 whole views on his YouTube channel. So what we're seeing is that sometimes these grifters can completely and totally crash and flame out and burn out. And it appears as if Corey Goode's grift is done. Now, David Wilcock is claiming that Corey Goode is coming out with a new documentary, and I'm going to be featured in it because I was a big harasser of Corey Goode. No, I was a reporter on Corey Goode's whole fiasco. That's what I did. That's what I was. And my reporting was 100% accurate because before the depositions came out, I said, I believe he's just making up these fake stories. I don't believe that he's ever been to space or any of this stuff is real. And it turns out I was 100% right and 100% accurate. But David Wilcock says that now there's going to be this new documentary. And of course, I'm going to be painted as a terrible cyber stalking, harassing, I don't know, I guess deep state, CIA, cabal, disinformation agent, or whatever works of fiction that Corey Goode is going to come up with. And, I'm here for it. We'll play the clips of it and we'll laugh at this loser, Corey Goode, who, by the way, was making millions of dollars before he got so greedy that he decided he had to sue all of his business partners, most of them. He had to sue all of his online critics, most of them. Mercifully, I was let go. And I didn't get sued. And I don't know if this is accurate or not. But somebody who used to work with and for Corey Goode told me that Corey Goode has special needs children. And because I have a nonverbal autistic son that I'm the primary caretaker of, Corey decided to have mercy on me and leave me out of out of the lawsuits. I don't know if that's true. Rumors and speculation, that's just what I was told. Would take from that what you will. Sucker Punk Projects with $2 says invest in Steve Snakecoin. Yeah, we're going to do a pump and dump soon. Charles McDonald with $5. Has Corey Goode paid his space taxes? No, he probably hasn't even paid his Earth taxes. Why would he pay space taxes if you're not paying Earth taxes? Don't you know how the scam works? Phantomus Phanto with a kind of generous 5 says, I was groped by a giant flying jellyfish. Stole my big dono. I was going to give you. I will be on Ashton's podcast to talk about my jellyfish trauma. Well, good luck with that, but we thank you. Every dollar does help, right? And Patty Wilhelm is here. Such tribalism among these UFO grifters. And I agree with you, Patty. And here's the problem. There's only so much money to be grifted. And so there is tribalism because they decide that they're going to start attacking each other. And now what we're seeing is an implosion, that the grifters are starting to, it's like if you put a bunch of rats in a cage and there's no food for long enough, the rats will just start eating themselves. So what's happening right now is that the rats are eating themselves. Mr. Crazy Attire just saying, Steve, welcome, Mr. Crazy Attire. Okay, so what we see in the case of Corey Goode, people keep asking me to do an update on Corey Goode. And really, there's nothing to update. Now, he's apparently coming out with a documentary in which I almost said forcing, where he's using his children and his wife to sell stories of their paranormal encounters. And I, for one, being a father of 2 children, find the idea of making your underage children help you sell paranormal stories to be absolutely ridiculous, right? Oh God, this erase song thing is not working. We'll try it one more time. I don't get it. We'll just try it one last time before we move on. I'll just take the hit, I guess. These grifters, they use copyrighted music on purpose, and that is to prevent somebody like me from playing a video where they're clearly lying and pointing out their lies. They don't like that. And so on the Corey Goode front, I appreciate that people want to hear what's going on with him. There's nothing going on with him. He has some shitty little website with very few, I believe, with very few actual paid subscribers. He might be barely scraping a living, to the best of my knowledge and recollection. He hasn't yet quit grifting and gotten a day job. He's still convinced he's going to make this $1 million comeback. He's going to have video games to compete with, the likes of Call of Duty, even though he's never made a video game, knows nothing about video game development, but apparently he has some Kool-Aid drinking cult members that are working for him. And he did show some gameplay of his video game, and it looked like Doom from 1999 to me. It looked like Doom level graphics and shit. So I don't think he's going to be very successful. And I think he's going to come out with this documentary, and documentaries aren't cheap. He's a lazy slob, and he's a shit creative person for being a content creator for all these years. He can't make graphics, to the best of my knowledge. He can't edit video, to the best of my knowledge, because he's a moron. So he's going to have to pay all these people to help him produce these documentaries, and hopefully he won't sue those people, because he sued the last people that did all the work on those last 2 documentaries that made millions, allegedly. So if he comes out with these documentaries and he did pay people to do a significant amount of the work, he's going to have problems keeping it going. Because if you don't, make 10 times the money into a documentary or film project that you put in, you're not going to be successful. So, though I appreciate everybody asking me for a Corey Goode update, the update is most likely he's broke, and he's a loser, and he's a moron that screwed up his own grift by suing everybody like a moron. Seahouse with 1 for the goal. Just saying, fire. Yeah. Thank you, Seahouse. And Colin Christensen with a very kind and generous $20 super chat saying, praise the cash. Thank you, Colin Christensen. Very, very kind of you. And that, of course, is 1 for the goal. We'll check in with the goal, but just so everybody is aware, our goal tonight is 50 super chats of $2 or more. And I'm confident that we're going to hit that. We have very light goal this evening because we don't want to milk the cow to death. Okay. That's what I've heard that saying recently. You don't want to milk the cow to death. While we appreciate all the super chats, we don't want to ask for too much and kill the cow that we're milking, right? So, except for Fat Chick Thriller, who decided to not drop dono bombs anymore. I'm very disappointed in Fat Chick Thriller. I was trying to milk Fat Chick Thriller out of my grocery bill for this week, but it doesn't look like we're going to make it. He's not feeling generous today. All right, so let's stop that. So there's nothing really to talk about with Corey Goode. He screwed up his own grift. What's that about? He screwed up his own grift. there's no money left for him in the UFO community because he was such a toxic prick that he can't. There's many people who do like UFO live events and he's just not welcome. He's just not welcome at them. And then since Corey Goode was such a toxic prick and nobody wanted to work with him, he couldn't get work being a live speaker at a lot of the conferences. So they decided he was going to get this girl, Adrian Youngblood, to organize his own conferences where he would speak and they would get a bunch of other losers, honestly, to talk at the conference too. And they were doing pretty good with that. But then what does Corey Goode, genius of the millennium, do? He's a moron, and he sued the girl that was organizing the conferences and helping him make all the money. Great job. Great job. Fat Chick Thriller with another 99 cents. I'm starting to feel very insulted, Fat Chick Thriller. Maybe our new moderator should just perma-ban you if you're going to be dropping 90. You can't even make it $1, bro? Come on, man. Can't be, and don't be a snake and put the goal back. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. If we hit the first goal, we'll just come up with a new one. Oh, wait a minute. Did I start the goal? It said I started a goal. Where's that? No, it didn't. God damn it. Really? I didn't start the goal yet? Yeah, I'm putting the goal back up because I'm a snake. There we go. Oh, it's just 10. God damn it. I messed it up. Let's fix it. All right. Yeah, I don't know with this new goal system on YouTube. Like I swore I started it right when the show started. And okay, so come on. Remove. Goal successfully removed. Okay, we'll start it over. Yeah, I am going to be a snake. It's not my fault. I forgot it. So, but yeah. We'll do just 3 hours and then overtime. I didn't realize that, but thanks for letting me know so that we can fix it. Boy, this is a dark side film moment if I ever saw it. All right, we've reset the goal, and I apologize for not setting it right. And Fat Chick Thriller is going to help us though by by sending like 20 qualifiers, and those would be $2 goals. It was there, and then something happened. Maybe it got removed. I don't know. But yeah, let's hit that goal, Trippy Mac, right? Let's hit the goal. So, boy, is this stupid. All right, I'm just going to have to. 1 second. This music is playing for like 3 minutes, and they only say you can't. Okay, so I can't play the last 30 seconds of it, I guess. Otherwise, I'll cut it out after the broadcast. But let's get to Bledsoe. For those unaware, Christopher Bledsoe claims to be a one-stop shop for all things paranormal. He sees Bigfoots. He sees ghosts, demons, poltergeists. He sees alien spaceships, or at least he claims that he sees alien spaceships, and more. And so he came out with this book, UFO of God, and we've covered this guy previously. One of his wackadoo followers stabbed his father to death while talking about the lady, some Marian Blessed Mother-like figure that Christopher Bledsoe claims to speak to. And the guy went crazy following Christopher Bledsoe. He was talking about it while he stabbed his father to death and live streamed it. So these are the kind of people that follow this guy, Christopher Bledsoe. It's very disturbing. And let me get over and I have a video to share. We're going to cite fair use. We're educating the public and critiquing the video that we are sharing. So there's been plenty of times where Christopher Bledsoe has been caught faking UFOs and faking aliens. And I've caught him several times myself. Other people have caught him. Most recently, he made a video of what we know for a fact, 100%, was the International Space Station going across a partially full moon, like a crescent moon. And we know because it was tracked. And what he's showing in this one video, we'll share it in a little bit, is the International Space Station. And of course, his son and him hype it up. Oh, this was a UAP. This was an alien spaceship. No, it wasn't. It was the International Space Station. So either they're dumb as rocks or they're hoaxers. And they're doing this on purpose to sell stupid people and make UFO dollars. But let's get into the first video that I have. This one is great. And so while watching Mr. Bledsoe's videos, he's a prolific poster on, is it TikTok or is it Instagram? It's one of those. And he posts these videos where he claims that he's summoning alien spaceships. And I'm here to tell you that he's sharing lies. That's what he's sharing. He's not summoning alien spaceships. And so in one of these instances, I was watching and I went, that's a laser pointer. He's using a laser pointer and he's pointing it at some distant clouds. And of course, you're going to see a light in the sky if somebody's pointing a laser pointer at some distant clouds. And people told me, "Oh no, Stephen, those are alien space monster orbs or interdimensional alien orbs. Those aren't laser pointers." So some time has passed, and I apologize. If the person who sent this to me can please just email me at Truthseekers Show, I'll be happy to credit you finding this. So one of my viewers, remember, it's Truthseekers. We're all seeking the truth, not just me. They were watching one of his live feeds one time, and they caught him with what appears to be a bunch of laser pointers in one hand. And this is not, really up for debate. He's using, in this video, we're going to show you this UFO grifting clown who, by the way, his hobby is remote control airplanes. Not suspicious at all that he films things only at night. He puts music over it so you can't hear the sound, the ambient sound that's actually happening while he's recording these things. He puts music over it sometimes. Here he is, 100% using a laser pointer or projector device to project dots, points of light on some distant billowy clouds in the sky. And you'll keep your attention on the right side of the screen because every once in a while this moron doesn't realize it and he puts the projector device with, I think, multiple laser pointers in the frame. And we can clearly see there's something in his hand that's generating what we're seeing in the sky. He is a disgusting, despicable grifter who takes advantage of morons and vulnerable people on the internet that want to believe that he can summon spaceships. You too can summon spaceships. All you need is a similar laser pointing device. And by the way, I didn't film it, but I did do some tests with some laser pointers. He's using laser pointers. He's got a bunch of them in his hand on some kind of a rig. Let's get into it.
Filming 3. Look, Chester. See him again? Right out here.
What's that in his hand?
Up at elevation. They're all, y'all see them? Anybody see them right out here?
Are they going up?
He's got laser pointers in his hand.
They're in the air, yeah, a good long ways up.
Yeah,
right here.
They're in the
filming
air.
3.
I'm putting them there. They're in the air because I'm putting them there.
Look, Chester. See him again? Right out here, up at elevation. They're all, y'all see them? Anybody see them right out here?
Yeah, right out here where I'm pointing this laser projector device.
They're in the air, yeah, a good long ways up. Right here, I'm filming 3. Look, Chester. See him again? Right out here.
That is some sort of projecting light device, whether it's a laser pointer, something else. I believe it's a laser pointer device on a spinner. Very easy to do. And if people really are that interested, I will construct and recreate this footage on a cloudy night.
At elevation. They're all, y'all see them? Anybody see them right out here?
Clearly, there's some sort of light projector device, laser pointers, in his hand that he's using to generate the images, the points of light we're seeing in the sky. If you could really summon alien spaceships, you could do it during the day. Mr. Bledsoe never summons alien spaceships during the day. It's only at night. Funny that.
Do you feel like things are changing?
Okay, now this one I'm showing just for reference. I know it's going to be difficult to see, but I think it was Lou from Lue Reviews pointed out that there are literally 10, count them, there's 10 remote control airplanes in this clown's garage. This guy who keeps filming UFOs. Not suspicious at all that his hobby is remote control airplanes.
Changing or shifting these days?
Okay, there's one right behind his head there, the blue, white, and red one. There's ones up in the rafters. There's parts of one right on the counter that he's being filmed in front of. Not suspicious at all that this guy who keeps getting apparently alien spaceships on film, his hobby is that he flies remote control airplanes.
Thing, it's hard to say. With all the...
Yeah, there's one right above his head being stored in the rafters. That's another remote control airplane. Somebody else made a video, I haven't had time, and blew this up. There's like a bunch of remote control airplanes in the frame with him and remote control airplane parts. Not suspicious at all from a guy, you know, who keeps filming what really he films lights in the sky at night. And we know, and we've caught him pretending that satellites are alien spaceships. And we've also caught him pretending that the International Space Station is an alien spaceship. In other words, this guy is a complete and total hoaxer, grifter, clown.
Things going on in the world. But yeah, all that's going to go away.
And this guy, like Corey Goode, got his kids in on the grift. This is his daughter filming this video for him. And then his son is a big promoter and supporter of him on Twitter. X, we'll see that in a moment.
This is my belief. That's what I was told, but it isn't going to be right away. It's a slow motion thing that we have to go through some troubles first. But in the end, we win.
Do you feel like lately, specifically, there's been a shift?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, there's definitely been a shift in his wallet. And, you know, since his book came out, he's going on all these big podcasts. And his book, which I got, maybe I'll do a review on it, is largely him bragging about all these paranormal experiences that he has. But it's pretty light on evidence. In other words, it's just like every other UFO grifter. Lots of stories.
Phenomenon is on high alert, growing and exponentially daily.
Yes, the phenomenon is growing. Maybe he's buying more remote control airplanes, and that's what's causing his ability to film these lights in the sky to grow exponentially. Sure.
Every day. I mean, you saw what was here the weekend. There was 16, 18 people here, and the sky was, and the woods around us, or just growing exponentially. Because all the trouble and all the suffering and the threat of nuclear war by Putin.
Yeah, that's why he's able to film alien spaceships, not because he has 10 remote control airplanes in his garage.
All that's bad stuff, and they're not going to have it. And they're going to stop it before it gets too far, is what I'm being told. So, I think it's time we grow up as a species and quit this war. Be happy with what you got.
Love and gratitude,
He's
right?
He's moving the remote control airplane parts from his workbench while she's filming him talking about how he's filming alien spaceships. Not suspicious at all.
It's about love and peace and harmony.
If it was just about love and peace and harmony, why don't you just put your book in a PDF and give it away for free?
Everybody's in fear because they watch all that stuff on TV. Turn it off. Turn it off. Find your happiness, your peace, and enjoy your family and your children, and don't pay attention to the negative stuff.
Yeah. Don't pay attention to the debunkers proving that I keep saying that alien spaceships are here when it's clearly satellites, hoaxed LED projectors, laser projectors, remote control planes.
For you.
Nice.
It's my motto. I lived in the negative world. With all that negative, I'd never
those are remote control airplane parts right in front of him.
see nothing.
Amen.
Not suspicious at all from a guy who keeps claiming to film alien spaceships. Okay, and here is where I'm gonna mute the audio so that we don't get a copyright claim. And this is just more proof that this guy's hobby is remote control airplanes. And you know, like a lot of people that have a hobby, eventually you become really good at it. And I have to say that his ability to pilot these remote control airplanes is pretty impressive. So for somebody to suggest that he's filming alien spaceships when Occam's razor would say maybe he's filming remote control airplanes with some lights on them at night. This is him filming at his house one of his remote control airplanes. So we know that he has many. Everyone has opinions about my dad and his experiences. Yeah, my opinion is that your dad is a hoaxing, grifting, lying scumbag. And you helping him and your brother helping him to sell a book full of nonsense says a lot about you as children. He's just my dad. Oh, the Frisbee could be another fake UFO. I don't know, right? But there's some more footage of him. There's another remote control airplane. That's two that we see in this video and multiples that we see in his garage. Very acrobatic with that stuff, right? Here he is signing a book for a moron. UFO of God, a book for morons by a moron. And, you know, look, I try to be fair, but anybody that's buying a book from this guy who keeps claiming that he's filming alien spaceships when it's clearly something else is a goddamn moron. And Fanto with a kind and generous $1.99 and one for the goal says, I saw Chris Bledsoe's lady. It is Joan Rivers. Well, that's more believable. Jonathan Fredericks with $4.99. The fact that folks bought this is sad. Yeah, I agree with you. And thank you, Jonathan Fredericks. One for the goal. And another one for the goal from Seahouse says, Huck y'all. Y'all see them, Chester? Y'all see the aliens? Did y'all see the aliens? They're up there in the sky. Because I'm pushing the button here. You should see the aliens any minute. Jake Raz with a kind and generous 2. One for the goal. His latest claim is knowing when the second coming is. I'm glad you mentioned that because we're going to show you that he's completely and totally wrong. And because he was completely and totally wrong, now he's accusing Sean Ryan of some vast conspiracy where they edited things together and he didn't say that. Maximilian with 2 asking me, will you be back on the Keno Casino sometime? Anytime they ask me, I will be there. They're on vacation. They haven't asked me. When they ask me, I always just say yes. When do you want to do it? Book it. But they haven't asked me. Hopefully there's no hard feelings. There's none on my side. So, you know, Richard Crawley, thank you though, Maximilian. And Richard Crawley with one for the goal, a shift in his wallet. Stephen don't, one's is killer and one-liners, just killer. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Richard Crawley, longtime show supporter. And P10 is here with 10, says, can't eat peace and harmony, Stephen. Got to make that money. Praise the cash. P18, I'm sorry. Yeah. I agree with you. You got to praise the cash, right? Wait for Grift month. If you want to see some great UFO footage, we're going to have it, right? So, let's finish this out. I think we're just about done. Maybe it loops. Yeah, it just kind of loops. So I just want to clearly establish that it's kind of ridiculous for morons to think that he's filming alien spaceships when really all they are is lights in the sky in the distance. They could literally be anything: satellites, airplanes. You know, it's kind of stupid that anybody would believe this guy when he clearly has a garage. You know, it makes me sad for the human race. Like, did you not catch that his garage is filled with remote control airplanes? And maybe, just maybe, that could be the cause of these so-called alien sightings, and not anything else that's more impressive. Like, I don't know, aliens. Phantomos Fanto with another one. Bledsoe sent an orb to toilet paper my house. A likely story, right? A likely story. And I'm checking in. We're already at 9 of 50 towards the goal now that we properly have it. So I'd appreciate those super chats of $2 or higher. If we hit our goal, we'll do some overtime. So I'm going to go over to my Twitter because I have shared some things on my Twitter about Mr. Bledsoe that are pretty funny. And then we'll get into some of the other grifters. Don't worry, we'll be talking about a bunch of them, including Lue Elizondo and David Grusch, Bob Lazar. Yeah. Now, where did I put that? Oh, I am so disorganized. I apologize. All right, no, we got to find this. Okay. Yeah, here we go. First, I'll share this part. This is great. So he goes on the Sean Ryan show and he claims that he knows exactly when the second coming of Christ is going to be. And we really should believe him because he's, you know, an expert because he talks to angels and things. The average Chris posting from Tim T looks like, based on the star map here, Chris Bledsoe's claim on the Sean Ryan show is wrong and does not line up based on the model. And let's take a look at Tim T, who says, view of the stars visible April 5th, 2026. Not only is Jupiter not above Regulus, like he said, Regulus isn't even visible when it does rise, let alone exactly align on the horizon, as Chris states. Who is telling Christopher Bledsoe this information? So here, he said that these stars...
the star date that Chris Bledsoe talks about. Who do you think?
I looked at your claim yesterday, and I went right to my sky atlas. I put in Easter 2026. I found Regulus on the eastern horizon at one of the times, and the planet Jupiter right above it.
In Gaza, in Giza?
Exactly.
No,
right
it's not.
where
Bob,
he said it was.
Bob, I would love for you to post that.
And this is Science Bob McGuire, who's a moron and a big supporter of Christopher Bledsoe. Science Bob doesn't know how to use Stellarium or another star tracker, because Tim does know how to use it and prove that the shit that Bob McGuire, the moron idiot supporter of Bledsoe, is saying, and the stuff that Bledsoe is saying about the stars aligning and this is the sign of the second coming of Christ, it's not reality. It's bullshit.
Yeah, I'm happy to do it because Tim, I couldn't. Tim, do we follow each other?
No.
I'll follow you. So anyway, send me a message to remind me to screen grab my sky atlas.
Yeah, and crickets after Tim found that he's basically totally misinformed or lying.
With the date and the time of Regulus sitting on the eastern horizon with Jupiter right above it. And the location of Jupiter at that time is how they dated it.
The only date that appears for 2026 is October 7th.
Wrong. Oh, Science Bob, you moron. You got busted. You got busted for repeating lies from a cult-leading moron, Christopher Bledsoe, that claims that he's seeing alien spaceships in the sky.
And that's for Giza in front of the Sphinx.
No. Regulus is up over half a year at every point on Earth.
Nope. Oh, Science Bob, wrong again.
Yes, and it's not up during the time of Easter during that time. It comes up in October.
Get him, Tim. Get the loser.
I put up April 6th.
I'm Science Bob, and I'm a moron.
Science
Bob.
I'm sorry?
Why?
April 5th
Why would you put science in your name if you can't do basic science and use a star map, you moron?
is Easter in
I'm sorry, April
2026.
5th, whatever it was, April the 5th or 6th. It doesn't change that much. But on April 5th, I moved the time
Well, you did it wrong, you moron.
until Regulus came just above the horizon, and it was right before morning.
Nope, was it? You're a moron.
And just for other people, yesterday I had posted as well, and I'll post it up to the nest here quickly, but I sent a link where you can look on a sky view as well with that date set. And Leo is not in view in the Giza Plateau from that date.
Oh.
That I claim is incorrect, but I will post what I have.
You will post what you have. You were completely and totally wrong. Completely and totally wrong. Here's the October 7th date I mentioned, which is close to the exact alignment I could get with the east, due east in the front of the Sphinx. Yeah, so he's completely and totally wrong. Science Bob. People often forget that the Earth rotates. He's still trying to come up with it. The image you posted is a view from North America, not Giza. You loser. Science Bob McGuire, you're a loser. You're a moron. And you support a cult leader, right? And I guess Science Bob doesn't want to talk about that guy who stabbed his father to death from following cult leader Chris Bledsoe, right? Yeah. First, he never said the nose of the Sphinx pointed at Regulus, right? He's still going to argue. He's still going to argue that this is not what Bledsoe said. And then, of course, Bledsoe is saying now that Sean Ryan, snaked him somehow. And they somehow, here, this is also from Tim T. I'll share this as well. Now they're claiming that Sean Ryan set him up and that he didn't say the things that he said. Science Bob just made a claim that Bledsoe is pissed about this clip because Chris Bledsoe now says that Sean Ryan edited this to make it sound like Chris had said something he didn't. He said that he knew when the second coming of Christ was happening, but that he was completely wrong on the astronomical alignments, like a moron. Yeah. Because Sean Ryan thought he was a moron. They didn't edit it. Come on. They did not edit it. Oh, he didn't say that now because it's wrong, right? Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Jesus.
Never said what came next.
Let's
he
do that
said,
again.
I hope Christ comes soon in a separate sentence. And I could tell you.
So Bob McGuire is saying that Sean Ryan edited the piece together and he didn't say any of this stuff. Again, fair
Maybe people
use.
didn't want me telling the story. Okay, so the Chris and Sean recorded session. And of course, as usual, it lasted for hours. But it took months for it to come out. And
yeah, it took months to come out because Sean Ryan thought that Christopher Bledsoe was a complete and total wackadoo, and he didn't want to publish that. But then when the Bledsoe cult members and Bledsoe started accusing him of censorship and everything, he decided to just put it out.
Chris was really getting frustrated because he didn't think it was going to come out, and he was not being told the reasons. He had no understanding for what was going on.
Yeah, because I guess Sean Ryan felt a little weird about telling him he didn't want to put it out because, you're a wackadoo, so I just don't even want to. I've only had one time in my life where I did an interview and I didn't believe anything that the person I was interviewing was saying. and it was recorded off air. So luckily I had the capability of just saying, I'm not putting this out. Years later, people wanted to hear what that person said during the interview that I found to be completely works of fiction. So I put it out.
Finally, we rejoice. It's going to come out. I called Chris and I says, well, yeah, it was pretty good. I says, there are a couple of rough spots. And he says, Bob, I am so angry. I can't begin to figure out how to console myself. And I says, what is going on, Chris? He said, they edited.
He was angry because he gave ridiculous, stupid predictions that don't pan out astronomically, because he's a moron. And so is Science Bob McGuire for defending the moron.
The video.
Science Bob, do you also believe that he can cure cancer like he claims with his superpowers?
Very carefully. And there's a one rough section when they put together separate pieces and made it into something I never said.
You clearly said those things. Come on.
And I'll leave it up to you if you want to what it was. But what was going on, what Chris said was coming in 2026 was apocalypse, which means a new learning and a new meaning.
No, nobody thinks apocalypse coming means that. You moron.
He never said what came next.
He said Jesus is coming next, you moron.
He said, I hope Christ comes soon, in a separate sentence. And I could tell you the following is a fact. The editor was fired within 24 hours.
I don't believe that.
That's number one. Number two, Chris's little being with the red eyes was glowing white with a triangle on its chest. There was no shadow.
Yeah, a little red being with glowing eyes.
Inside.
What? All right, so there we get the stunning revelation that Chris Bledsoe is basically caught in lies and in scientific impossibilities. So he decides a good way to do it. A good way to defend that is to blame the guy who gave the interview. Another 99-cent fat chick thriller. You better send 300 more of those or add some zeros. Or we're going to do I like those dono bombs. Come on, fat chick thriller. I got children to feed. You can't be sending me 99 cents. You can't even get anything at the dollar store for 99 cents anymore. Jimmy Tchaikovsky with $5 Australian. See, that's better, fat chick thriller. Timmy Taylor is the most interesting part in Bledsoe's UFO Book of God. You should do a deep dive on Timothy Taylor. I'd rather not, Jimmy, but I'll do it if you really want me to. I think this story is largely overblown. Nate Rivers with 5 says, I'd like to apologize on behalf of the entire South for this guy. He also sounds like his wife didn't need to change her last name. Yeah, he does sound like he married his cousin or his sister. This my cousin wife. Nate Rivers. Did I introduce you to my cousin wife or my sister wife? Maybe he's got both. Colin Christensen with 5. You should tell Triple P, that failed second coming prediction guy. I could see him going on a tear over that kind of grifter. Well, I have some stuff prepared for Keno if they ever get off vacation. Those guys take a lot of vacations, but God bless them. I almost never take a vacation. Even if I'm on vacation, I find a way to throw a couple of shows in that week. Fantomas, Fanto, Bledsoe's orbs are like Pokemon. Collect them all. Yeah, you just need some laser pointers and stuff like that, right? Wreaking Havoc 215 with 5. All these guys are just, they're just LARPing or cosplaying X-Files, somehow making money off of being liars. I wish they would all go away. Well, listen, I wouldn't have anything to talk about if all the grifters go away. Last Minute Lacey says, the Christ returns within. Could be. And Troll is here. The corn won't grow at all on Rocky Top. Dirt's too rocky by far. That's why all the folks on Rocky Top get their corn from a jar. Okay. Vacation, what's that, says William Runner. Yeah, I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you, William Runner. What vacation? Even even days off. Like I had a day off of doing a live show yesterday, but I was working on this goddamn multicam setup. And by the way, we're going to have that squared away very soon. Tomorrow night, we return to using the multicam setup. If everything works, I have some final testing to do tonight. So I'm going to share this tab now because this is very interesting to me. And this shows that his son is a moron. Ryan Bledsoe is Christopher Bledsoe's son and one of his biggest supporters. So let's not give it away. In all my life, this is the best orb footage I've ever seen, says Ryan Bledsoe, Christopher Bledsoe's son. This needs to be spread far and wide for all to see the beauty of these things, taken by Chris Bledsoe. And here, let's see this.
Gotta get my camera stabilized.
Yeah, it does look like an orb in the sky, but I'll tell you what it really is. It's nothing extraordinary. And there it goes. It's transiting the moon. And they got it on film, transiting the moon. Does look like something more than ordinary. I'll give you that.
Today's the 31st of January. Come on, stay with it. Where'd it go?
Oh, he lost it. So let's watch it one more time from the start. This is supposed to be an alien orb spaceship transiting the moon. Looks pretty impressive, transiting the moon, gotta say. Right? Verifiably, 100%, this is the International Space Station. People have tracked it right to his location where it would be seen. This is the International Space Station. This is not an alien orb. So moron Ryan Bledsoe and his moron father, I don't know which one of them is dumber. And here, let's see how dumb people are. Absolutely incredible. Thank you. And of course, it's Mick West who figured out it's the International Space Station. So here we go. This is Mick West completely destroying these UFO grifting alien, profiteering scumbags. Look at that's the International Space Station, you moron. What a couple of morons. Both him and his son. You get the Moron of the Year award. Morons. It's the International Space Station. Tracked, performing the exact same transit of the exact position of the moon. That's the International Space Station transiting the moon or appearing to cross the moon. That is the International Space Station, my friends. And so it just goes to show you that, these morons, they have an easy maybe they're not such morons, but they sure have an easy time fooling other morons on the internet into believing that what they're showing people is something extraordinary. You can film the International Space Station every night. It's not anything extraordinary. Yeah, maybe the orb was shadowing it. Yeah. Yeah, or the orb disguised itself as the International Space Station, right? Grainied filming of the ISS is cool, says Monterang. I don't think so, right? I don't think so. That's just lazy grifting, says Wreaking Havoc 215. Yeah, when you get to this point, it's gotten really grifty. So let's wrap up on the Christopher Bledsoe. What do I think? People ask me all the time, and now I can just point them to this video. What do I think of Ryan and Christopher Bledsoe? Christopher Bledsoe is a cult-leading lunatic who claims that he's filming alien spaceships. He claims that he can summon alien spaceships. He claims that he can that he sees Bigfoot and demons and angels and orbs and poltergeists and all manner of paranormal manifestations. But the truth is he's just another grifty grifter. And that's basically what I think of Christopher Bledsoe. And by extension, I guess his son, he's a grifty grifter. And nothing that he shows is anything extraordinary. And we know that because we can see that with the material that he shows us. His moron son going on Twitter, this is the best orb footage ever. It's not an orb, you moron. It's the International Space Station. And by the way, if you're going to go try to film UFOs, there's two things that you should have at all times with you. One of them is a satellite tracker, and one of them is Stellarium. And with those two pieces of software, you'll be able to correctly identify things in the sky before you run straight to this is an alien orb. You should be able to eliminate prosaic explanations before you jump to the aliens, but if they did that, there wouldn't be a story to sell. And just to display the kind of engagement that they get with this kind of stuff, this video of it is 100% provable that the video that Christopher Bledsoe's son Ryan shared is of the International Space Station. It's nothing extraordinary. It got 200,000 views on X. So maybe there's a reason why these clowns continually forget to eliminate prosaic explanations. Because if you just post a video on Twitter and say, I filmed the International Space Station transiting the moon, maybe you'll get 5,000 views, but you're not getting 200,000 views. But just say it's an alien orb from outer space, and suddenly you're getting 2,000 views. So we will wrap up Chris Bledsoe. You know, in some cases, and this is one of them, I know for a fact that these people know they're not filming alien spaceships. They know that they're filming fake shit. And we know that because he's filming fake alien orbs or whatever with a laser projector, with a laser pointer system, projecting a beam of light onto a distant cloud. So he knows that's not an alien spaceship. Did he know that the International Space Station was what he filmed? Maybe, maybe not. He is like borderline. Oh, I almost used the R word. He's borderline mentally challenged, this guy, and his moron son. So maybe they're just that stupid, or is it intentional? Let me know what you think in the comments. Fernambulac for the goal says, I call him Sideshow Bob McGuire. Yeah. So we will move on to David Grusch. For those unaware, David Grusch made international headlines several years ago when he claimed, as a high-ranking Air Force intelligence officer, he started making claims that the United States government was in possession of alien crash material, alien crashed spaceships, even alien crashed bodies. And I always love to do this. I always say days since June 5th. June 5th, 2023 is when he originally came out with his claims. So, despite making these out-of-this-world fantastic claims, and then claiming that he had all this evidence but never providing any, it has now been a grand total of 638 days since David Grusch came out with his grandiose out-of-this-world claims, my favorite of which, David Grusch claimed that there was, let me make sure I get the term correct, interdimensional space monsters with spaceships that were murdering humans on Earth. That's my favorite claim. And of course, he's a former mental patient, but don't let that dissuade you from believing him. Just because he's a former mental patient doesn't mean that he was making this shit up. No, I think in the case of David Grusch, that he got deceived by people like Eric Davis and a bunch of other people into going on this crusade, claiming, that there was something to all of these conspiracies. And by and large, there isn't. And David Grusch, in 638 days now, has not provided a single shred of evidence. But don't worry, he he is still out there and active. From Stephen Greenstreet at Middle of Mayhem of the New York Post. This appears to be UFO whistleblower David Grusch attending a meeting of psychics, gurus, and shamans that use psychic powers to communicate with non-local intelligence. Jake Barber, who claims to use psychic powers to summon aliens, appears to be sitting next to him along with Ross Coulthart. And there's a Reddit post. Looks like Barber was confirmed to indeed be there along with UFO guru Ross Coulthart. And here's a wider shot of them. The wider photo appears to show UFO guru Ross Coulthart with Barber and Grusch. So these grifters all hanging out at wackadoo conventions. That's a wackadoo convention. Let's all communicate with non-human intelligence with our minds. Those are wackadoos, okay? So people ask me, well, what's David Grusch been up to? Apparently, and there's Alex Clokus from the Salt. You know, that's the moron that asks them, oh, do you truly believe that aliens are visiting Earth? And they say 100% aliens are visiting Earth. And this guy's such a moron. He doesn't ask for proof or evidence. He just, oh, must be true. Somebody said it, right? So, and there's some interesting tidbits that prove that David Grusch was deceived into what he did, which is destroy his career and make mental patient like claims like the government is hiding aliens. And he did that based on being told that it's all real from a loser scientist. And I use that term loosely. He is really a scientist, but he's a wackadoo, and that would be Eric Davis. And now, important to note that besides me, I guess the primary reporter, the only mainstream reporter getting these stories right is Stephen Greenstreet of the New York Post. And his working theory is that all of these stories are coming from the same core group of idiots. All the TTSA stories came from Hal Puthoff and Eric Davis and others. All of the Dave Grusch stories came from Eric Davis and Hal Puthoff and others. It's all the same group of people. And we know that according to journalist Brian Bender, Elizondo groomed David Grusch for his role in the media. Why do you need to groom somebody? If they're telling the truth, right, and their stories are real, you wouldn't need to groom them for their media appearances. But this is where we're at, and this is where we find ourselves. And this is from The Average Chris, friend of the show. Grusch was not the hero people claimed because of his interest in UFOs since college, per FOIA response obtained by the Black Vault of Grusch's 2021 interview with the DODIG. He was duped into looking into things that were not there in places he didn't have access to and threw away his career because of it. Danny Sheehan said, David Grusch told the House Oversight Committee, we were back engineering nuclear weapons with alien tech. And this is fair use. This is transformative work. We're educating the public. Here's Eric Davis directly admitting that he was the source of much of David Grusch's fake stories. And there's a problem with this, and that is that this Eric Davis wackadoo, who, by the way, believed that poltergeists followed him home from Skinwalker Ranch and other wackadoo beliefs, he's also the originator of the Wilson Davis Notes hoax. That's a hoax. They never, the person involved with those notes said that that was a work of fiction. That's another huge story that came from Eric Davis that wasn't proven to be factual, but rather a hoax. He's a hoaxer, and the United States Air Force called this guy's research, he's a scientist, called his research crackpot research. So where did David Grusch get his crackpot stories from? He got them from another crackpot. Where did he get the wackadoo stories about aliens murdering humans from? He got it from this wackadoo.
And I gave Dave all my data, all my briefing information, and he took that, ran with it, and he found everything. And then later on, I think maybe a year or two later, actually almost 2 years later, somewhere in that period, they finally got to meet with Hal Puthoff, and he briefed them with his set of information.
Yeah. So Hal Putoff briefed David Grusch. In other words, David Grusch got all of his information that this stuff is all true from two wackadoos who've been profiting from UFOs and aliens for decades, and they've never proved anything. Hal Putoff, this is the guy that was fooled by children's magic tricks into believing that somebody had super secret psychic powers. And Hal Putoff is also a Scientologist, high-ranking Scientologist who believes in Xanadu and, or Xenu and the, Galactic Federation and the body thetans attached, the aliens attached to him. He's a Scientologist, which means he's a complete and total wackadoo. Hal Putoff once claimed that he got superpowers from being a Scientologist. This is who Dave Grusch got all of his information from.
A lot of what he has overlaps mine, but I have a lot of unique information, both in and outside of the era of the 15 years that I worked with Hal. A lot of it came from NIDS, and Hal knew some of that.
And notice Eric Davis said that Grusch found it all. What did he find? Nothing. He never saw a spaceship. He never saw an alien body. He didn't find anything. Because this is all fiction by a bunch of delusional wackadoos who's been telling this story and circle jerking each other off. And this is why we call it a self-licking ice cream cone. Oh, the source of your information is other wackadoos who never proved any of their information is true or accurate. But we're supposed to believe you because you're a new, they get this guy to be the figurehead and to be, in the spotlight telling the same stories they didn't prove the last time these wackadoos were running around telling them. But now we got a new guy who's Air Force intelligence repeating their evidence-free stories. It's one big UFO circle jerk self-licking ice cream cone, and you'd have to be a moron to believe any of these guys because they never have any evidence.
A lot of it came from AFRL, and then a lot of it came through the OSAP with my interactions with the CIA and other agencies and companies and so forth. So Dave, yeah.
I want my money back as a taxpayer. If this wackadoo moron worked for the CIA, we want his salary money back because he's a complete and total wackadoo moron.
Dave basically ran with our data, mine and Hal's, and
ran with our data, ran with our stories.
Found everything.
He found everything. Well, why can't we see it? If he found all the spaceships, why won't he show us any spaceships? If he found all the alien bodies, why can't we see the alien bodies? Because they don't exist except in the land of make-believe and these wackadoos, fake reality world, LARPing world that they live in. And somebody said earlier, and it's an apt observation, they're all cosplaying X-Files. Oh, I know all about all these government secrets. Great, tell us about them. Well, I can't, it's classified. No, it's not. You're a moron.
Everything. Found 40 witnesses. I'm
found 40 witnesses. Yeah, witnesses like Jake Barber, witnesses like Jason Sands. By the way, his story's falling apart. We'll get into him next.
Not going to say who they are, but I could say that I know two of them. And I gave.
So there we have it. This is really the only update I could give you on David Grusch so far. And that is that David Grusch, he got his stories from other UFO wackadoos. He had no original information. It's really great. Oh, God, more drama. Okay. All right. We'll get to Jake Barber next, I suppose. Or excuse me. No, we're going to get to Jason Sands next, I guess. Jake Barber is telling people that you can summon alien spaceships with your mind. And this is, of course, an idea that he stole from another UFO grifter, Dr. Stephen Greer, who's been selling an app where you can summon alien spaceships for years and years and years now. And to my knowledge, he can't prove that a single person that bought the app ever summoned an alien spaceship. But don't let things like facts and logic get in the way of a good money-making grift, right? That's a good money-making grift, right? There's lots of people in the government claiming that you can summon aliens with your mind. And here, we'll share this one. This is from Stephen Greenstreet. Coulthard statements. Coulthard news. Yeah, so this is great. News Nation journalist Ross Coulthard says he lies in a field at night and tries unsuccessfully to use psychic powers to summon aliens. He continues to try. That's great. That's great. You just got to meditate the aliens up, right? I guess he's not left-handed, but I think he's gay. Remember that? You can't summon the aliens unless you're left-handed and you like to suck cocks, because apparently sucking cocks makes the alien summoning go better. So if you really want to see some aliens, start blowing dudes, and hopefully you're left-handed, because if you're left-handed and you blow dudes, you'll be able to summon the aliens, according to Jake Barber.
I've spent a lot of time trying to learn how to meditate, and I'm getting reasonably advanced at it. I have a beautiful field near my home where I go and lie down on the grass and I look up at the stars, and I certainly invite the phenomenon to manifest itself.
But you haven't been able to see any spaceships?
I have a daughter who frequently engages with the phenomenon, and it manifests itself quite overtly to her.
Okay, so he can't summon the alien spaceships, but his daughter can. And I will refrain from making any jokes about his daughter and blowing dudes. I don't know what her situation is. Maybe that's why she can summon the spaceships and he can't, right? And to be clear, I try to keep people's family out of it, but he is directly involving his daughter in his grifting here. So cards on the table, it's okay then for me to make comment about that. Why can she summon the spaceships and not Coulthard?
But my dear friends, one of whom, J.P. Haig, is gifted with the ability to engage in this way, he tells me he thinks the phenomenon is keeping me skeptical by not manifesting itself to me so overtly.
Oh, sure. Yeah. And that's not the only person saying that his daughter can apparently summon alien spaceships. Congressional witness Tim Gallaudet, who claims his daughter has psychic powers and communicate with beings on the other side. So here's another person claiming their daughter. Maybe there's something to the blowing dudes thing, because apparently you can summon aliens if you just blow dudes, right? And here we have two women. I don't know if they blow dudes. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if they're left-handed too, but both their dads are saying that they can summon aliens. And Jake Barber said you have a better chance of summoning aliens if you're homosexual or if you blow dudes and if you are left-handed. So who knows, right?
Now, we were all grown up in traditional kind of religion with, I think, myself as an Episcopalian, and my wife maybe raised the same. Catholicism influenced her a bit too. But at some point in our lives, my youngest daughter had real serious behavioral issues. And to put it, just sum it all up, she is like many of these medium that you see.
Oh,
she can see spirits.
She
saw
sees
them all the
spirits.
time. There are people that have this ability to tap into whatever we want to call it, the other side, where people go when they die, whatever that is, the energy that people leave behind.
It's the energy.
There's a lot of ways to explain it, but it was real and real to us. I mean, she had real experiences. It was affecting her. A really interesting example was...
Yeah, and so this loser got her on a reality TV show to exploit her believing that she was talking to spirits so they could make money. Yeah, sounds real credible.
You know, when she was really having a lot of these experiences, we had this like little camera, basically a video recorder, and we were in her room one time, which things were happening, and we just filmed it, I think, and when we looked at the tape again, as people have seen in these experiences, there were just orbs flying all around this video.
Yeah, orbs. Or do you mean dust? I love when people think they're seeing orbs and it's just dust.
I mean, seriously, many, and it was so active. And these are all things that we just couldn't believe ourselves. And my wife and I went on a journey.
They couldn't believe it, but they put their daughter on a reality show to make money out of it. But they couldn't believe it.
You know, we were raised in very traditional religious households.
Okay. Wow. Just wow. So, you know, what more can I say about Grusch and Jake Barber? They truly believe that you can summon alien spaceships somehow. And sorry, not sorry. I don't believe that. Now on Elizondo, we'll do a quick version of the Elizondo update. Why does it keep doing that? Okay, we'll do it this way. So what more to say about Lue Elizondo? He's a fake Pentagon UFO program director. He already blew his load with this book, right? And the book has gotten almost nothing original in it except for him telling us about his superpowers that he never talked about before the book coming out. So pardon me if I'm not very impressed. And here is also from Stephen Greenstreet, just to show you how profitable the UFO stuff is. It's very profitable. All you got to do is get some sponsors, right? And this just speaks to the ridiculous nature of these people. UFOs are a lucrative cash cow business. Popular media influencer Sarah Carter pimped a $200 home security system that could help prevent alien abductions before her interview with dubious UFO celebrity Lue Elizondo. And there's something from Keith Clore over here as well. Yes, we're living in an upside down world. Okay, we're living in an upside down world. So apparently, or allegedly, this woman is telling people, you need to get Simply Safe. It's got everything you need to protect your home. And now that I'm talking about UFOs and alien abductions, it's even better because I've got a special deal for you. So listen, do you get abducted by aliens who butt bang you? Are you tired of anal probing? If you're tired of the anal probes, then get yourself a Simply Safe. And then them aliens can't anal probe and butt bang you no mo. Right? It's just so stupid. Like, this is the stupidity of the people that believe these people. Do they really believe that you can protect yourself from anal probing, butt banging evil aliens just by getting a camera system? I don't understand. But Zero is here to make me feel a little better about all this. Says, this reminds me of Stexenhammer, who believes you can summon demons and black magic via grooning. Maybe worth a look into if you have time. Yeah, I don't know. I have a friend who sends me clips of him, and I just don't watch him. I don't like that dude. He strikes me as like a creeper. And we know he's a wife beater. He's a woman beater. So, but thank you, Zero, for your kindness, generosity, and support. And we are checking in with the goal. We're at 16 of 50. Now, we did get like 10 before the goal started. And Fat Chick Thriller's broke bitch, and he's holding out on the donos tonight. There's no dono bombs. I was expecting dono bombs from Fat Chick Thriller, but apparently I'm in his bad graces or something, so he's not dropping the dono bomb. So somebody else is going to have to be the MVP of the Super Chats tonight. This, my friends, is ridiculous. So, yeah, absolutely ridiculous. Why does it keep doing that? Remove from scene. Okay. So on Elizondo, here's what I believe. Elizondo hasn't had a real job since 2016 or 2017. He has siphoned millions of dollars by some accounts. Just his group, To the Stars Academy, siphoned millions of dollars out of the UFO community. But he's provided exactly zero evidence of aliens visiting Earth, zero evidence of alien crash retrievals, zero evidence of alien bodies, zero evidence of his superpowers. And I know I should be careful because he might remote view my house and like shake my bed pretending to be an angel like he did with those terrorists. It is what it is. TJ Felony says he just needs funding to build his spaceships. Yes, indeed. He needs that funding to build the spaceships. And welcome Arlene Adkinzel, our newest chat room moderator. Hopefully everybody will be very kind to her. Sometimes people get to be abusive of the mods if the mods are timing them out. Please don't do that. Be kind to everybody in the live chat. Now on to Jason Sands. For those unaware, Jason Sands told an incredible story of meeting an alien at Area 51. Before we do that, let's do this one. This is pretty great. I forgot to include this in the Dave Grusch portion, so you'll have to forgive me. This is also from the Average Chris. Hey, Jeremy Corbell, remember that time you claimed that David Grusch flew the X-37 orbital test vehicle? Quota Plo is just is a post of the X-37 currently in flight orbit. David Grusch wouldn't have piloted because, one, it's an unmanned craft, and two, David Grusch was a 14N in the U.S. Air Force, which is an intelligence officer. Intel officers don't pilot anything. So there's Jeremy Corbell. He's claiming that David Grusch piloted. Dave flew the X-37B test vehicle. There's no pilot, Jeremy Corbell. And, this is just a little bit of logic that you have to use. This is the little bit of logic. Jeremy Corbell said that David Grusch flew what is essentially a space drone. Got bad news for you. For two reasons, David Grusch couldn't have piloted this. He was not a pilot. He was an intel officer. And number two, nobody pilots it. It's an unmanned aerial vehicle, you moron. Jeremy Corbell is a goddamn moron. He is the dumbest of the dumb. Pentaxenstein with 5 is here, says, in honor of Arlene. Very kind of you. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. Pentaxenstein, big show supporter. Much better than that broke loser fat chick thriller, for sure, right? There is no pilot, says Edward Truitt. Nope, there's no pilot, right? Dave B says Arlene is always cool. I agree. That's why we selected her. And she's been a long-time show supporter, right? Patty says there's no drama here compared to other chats. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you. And maybe we'll make Patty a moderator too. We'll have some female energy in there, keeping things calm and cool and that sort of thing, right? All right. I have to find this Jason Sands bit because this is just another nail in the coffin of a UFO grifter. For those unaware, there's something called DOPSR, which is the Office of Pre-Publication. If you worked on classified projects and you're going to be in documentaries and things, you have to go to DOPSR and say, I'm going to be in this documentary, and here is what I'm going to say in this documentary, and here is what I need approval to make sure that I'm not talking about anything classified. All right, 1 second here. Let me share my screen. There we go. Oh, I didn't realize I was doing that the whole time, so I'm sorry. I'm a little disorganized tonight. So for those unaware, Jason Sands is the guy who said that he was, working at Area 51, and they were driving down a road, and then they saw this guy, and then they go out, and he has no ears, and he's a blue alien. Yeah. And he also was an alien assassin. He was sent by the government into a cave to murder an alien. I don't know why. But it turns out that James Fox, who is also on our list of grifty grifters for tonight, but it'll be enough to just quickly cover James Fox. James Fox and Jason Sands, claimed that he was going to be in this documentary, and he would have had to get his records, he would have had to get permission to talk about the things that he talked about with the Department of Defense Office of Pre-Publication. This is to ensure that nothing that you say in public is actually classified or endangers national security. It turns out DOPSR records for Jason Sands, specifically for his participation in the program, apparently there are none. I have no comment. After thorough searches of the electronic records and files of DOPSR, no records of the kind you described could be identified. And here's the request. They requested all records, correspondence, and decisions regarding any pre-publication review process or approval provided by the Defense Office of Pre-Publication and Security Review, or DOPSR, for Jason Theodore Sands. Specifically, I am seeking records related to his appearance and our participation in the James Fox documentary titled The Program. Now, here's where it gets interesting. If you go to DOPSR, they're going to ask you, why do you need review? And you have to say, because I'm going to be in this James Fox documentary. So apparently, Jason Sands is completely and totally full of shit about everything that he talked about. And he didn't go to DOPSR. You know why? Because he's just making up stories. There's nothing classified. There's no program. There's no crash retrieval. Jason Sands didn't. Look, if the government is really covering up aliens, wouldn't it be classified if Jason Sands met an alien at Area 51 and they would tell him, you can't talk about that, it's classified? But they didn't. Do you know why? Because the Pentagon doesn't care about people telling porkies and bullshit stories. They only care about people that may endanger national security. It doesn't endanger national security to make up stories about seeing aliens. Any records referring to or discussing the documentary, The Program, and Jason Theodore Sands. And then it gave information, right? Okay. So Jason Sands, he says, I'm glad they denied access to my Dopser. This won't age well. And he's also talking about getting lawyers to fight with the government. But remember, Jason Sands is a broke moron loser who's got GoFundMe's and PayPal, donation scams going to pay his bills, right? Yeah, he says he's going to. Kimberly McGeorge says, I have a comment, Grifter. Yeah, this kind of proves that nothing that he talked about is based in any kind of reality as far as the government is concerned. Oh, no way he's lying, impossible, says UFO Shane. Yeah, this is a problem. This is a real problem. And he says, I'm glad they denied access to my Dopser. This won't age well. And Stephen Jumper says, the only thing denied by Dopser is that you were part of Dopser. There's nothing to access according to them. Well, it's over for Chris at this point. He lied and made up excuses for months. Time for some legal work on this. And I wrote, are you going to start a GoFundMe to hire lawyers like the GoFundMe's to pay your bills? Yeah, right. You got busted. He got busted. He already has a lawyer. Yeah, he Jason Sands law firm, right? He's his own lawyer, right? He has apparently let multiple people see the document, but doesn't release it to the public. He preaches about transparency from the government, but he won't practice it himself. Yeah. UFO Sarah says, this is incorrect. I have personally seen the Dopser paperwork. I have seen it as well. Well, you guys, he showed you fake papers. If they were real, he could release them and prove that the government's lying about him. But he won't. He won't. Why won't he release the documents? But he'll show them to, yeah. And isn't it interesting? He shows them to like hot Twitter girls. And I mean that with all due respect. He's trying to impress the ladies, UFO Sarah and Angela McGard. He didn't show you real documents because if he had real documents, he could just release them right now and prove that the FOIA request was improperly handled and prove that he's not a lying, grifting scumbag, right? But he's not doing that, which means he's a lying, grifting scumbag. Sorry, not sorry. All right. Now we have gone through, geez, how many of these have we gone through? This is quite an update on the UFO grifter scene. Okay, so we talked about Chris Bledsoe. We talked about Jason Sands. We talked about Corey Goode. We talked about Lue Elizondo and David Grusch. There's a lot of people on this thumbnail. Stephen Greer, he's still out there grifting. I don't know what else to say about Stephen Greer. He's the most successful multimillionaire grifter. He's been selling people cactuses, claiming they're aliens, flares, claiming they're alien spaceships. He sells an app. He's just going to keep making documentaries and keep making, selling books and expensive in-person events where he summons aliens, but they're really flares and more. And then also we mentioned Ashton Forbes, who, if you're unfamiliar with him, he's the guy who's been pushing fake UFO videos that came from a fake UFO video YouTube channel called Regicide that he claims show that aliens or some kind of advanced technology circled around MH370 and then teleported it out of the sky somewhere. And then he also tried to sell people free energy devices. Him and his grifting partner got busted. You remember his grifting partner, Ashton Forbes' grifting partner. Ashton Forbes' grifting partner got caught lying and saying that aliens taught him advanced physics like free energy and anti-gravity. And it turns out he was just attending events with Jeremy Rye's alien scientist physics group, APEC. And that's where he learned those advanced physics, not from aliens. So, yeah. And we've got Michael Sala on here. We'll talk about him briefly. He's the guy who is interviewing wackadoos in airsoft paintball gun masks with that claim that they were in the secret space program, but have no proof of it whatsoever. The quality of this stuff is just, there's no quality here. There's no quality. We need a quality control person, right? 1 second. And then we'll talk about David Wilcock, because no matter how stupid you think David Wilcock's followers are, they're even stupider than that. Okay, let's see if we can't find this whole thread, right? We're going to go through this thread. Because no matter how dumb you think David Wilcock's followers are, they're even dumber than that. Like, really, no matter how stupid you think his followers are, they're even dumber than that. So recently, David Wilcock has begun claiming that I ruined deals for Stavati Aerospace and that I stole $4,000 from his bank account. Of course, he's also claiming that he's being attacked with weather weapons by the CIA. It's one of those things, right? Let's see if we can find the screenshots. I shared them earlier. I was on a tweet storm today just to gather some stuff, some source material here. Oh, man, where is it at? Okay, I'll find it. So David Wilcock's dumb as rock followers actually believe him, that I'm some kind of, I'm some kind of cyber criminal that's stealing money out of his bank accounts, that is, I don't know, extorting money from him. Maybe I'm responsible for the weather weapons being used against him. Who knows, right? It's absolutely ridiculous that anybody would be moronic enough and just straight stupid enough to believe anything David Wilcock says. But here we are, right? Okay, so there's a girl on, let me share that tab instead. There's a girl here on Twitter, and I don't know why, but she's a carnivore vegan. She's a carnivore vegan. She's a carnivore vegan. I don't know what that is. She says, Steven, talking about me, is a con artist and a piece of shit. I triaged Steven long ago. I am a triage angel. I think that's how you say that. Just like the two angels in Genesis 18 and 19 in the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. I sorted Steven into the will not ascend group of humans. Just before the shit hit the fan, he will be taken away from Earth and into a new situation to start all over again. The rest of us will get to ascend and have awesome superpowers, but not Steven. He has to suffer on a crap planet, reincarnating over and over again for 77,000 years. A different angel called a curating angel will design the perfect lifetime for him based on what will bring about the most profound growth. This involves suffering, usually. You got to love the love and light angel telling people that they're going to have to suffer, right? Why are the love and light people? Stephen will have another chance to ascend in 77,000 years. He ridicules child R victims. No, I didn't. Just David Wilcock. And David Wilcock, I ridiculed him because he said he got butt banged by reptilians. If you believe that David Wilcock got butt banged by reptilians, then you're also worthy of mockery. Now, remember, this girl claims that she's an incarnated angel. And I point out in this thread that all the three major Abrahamic religions would agree that angels do not incarnate as humans for human lifetimes. That's against all theology of Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. All three. Go talk to a Christian minister, a Catholic priest, a Jewish rabbi, a Muslim imam, they'll all tell you angels don't incarnate as people. But this moron thinks that she's an angel. She just incarnated, right? So John Christian Spadavaccia, tell me specifically what false accusations. I don't have anything specific, but it's obviously all BS. This girl claims she works for a defense contractor while also claiming all of this wacky shit like she's an angel incarnate, right? Somebody says, those aren't angels, they're Pleiadians. The wackadoos have found each other. You're not an angel, you're a Pleiadian, right? Oh, man, and we'll share this. So John's trying to convince her that we were telling the truth about Stavati, and she won't believe it. Start your own company, which is an aerospace contractor, and let me know how it goes. Guaranteed you'll have to go through the same challenges. Stephen is absolutely lying about Stavati, and he has stopped several deals which ended up killing millions. I'm responsible. I am responsible, friends, for millions of people dying because I interrupt or I somehow, mess with David Wilcock's global peace meditations. So because of me, this crazy bitch said that millions of people have died because of me. Millions of people have died, and it's all because of me, right? I know where I could find the post. It's pretty funny. And thanks to Spooky, Spooky is back making graphics for us here. And I'm here for it. Okay, I was able to find it. All right, we'll share this tab instead. It's all my fault, I wrote. I jeopardized world peace by saying I think David Wilcock is insane. This woman is actually telling people this shit. So when people say, oh, Steve, David Wilcock's just a nutbag, you shouldn't worry about the crazy stuff he's saying about you on his live streams. Well, he's telling 500,000 people this shit. And yeah, some of them are big enough morons that they believe it. This woman is telling people that I sabotage world peace, and because of me, millions of people have died because I'm making fun of David Wilcock, right? Here's me sabotaging world peace, having my meeting with Stavati Aerospace and David Wilcock, right? Okay, so here she said, Stephen is a con artist and a piece of shit. Stephen will have another chance to ascend in 77,000 years. He ridicules child R victims. No, I didn't. Just David Wilcock. I ridiculed David Wilcock for saying he got butt banged by aliens. I'm allowed to do that. He also lies repeatedly about David and Stavati making false accusations. No, you moron. You're too stupid to be walking around. This woman is too much of a moronic idiot to be walking around. And she says that she works for a defense contractor. Does your job know that you're running around accusing innocent people of being responsible for the deaths of millions of people? Because I don't believe David Wilcock. He has also jeopardized world peace with his antics. His file shows that he killed over 1 million people by interfering with world peace. She said this shit. She said this shit publicly. So I just want to put this on the record so that no matter how dumb, no matter how moronic, no matter how mentally challenged, and I'm letting myself use this word, no matter how retarded you think David Wilcock's followers are, they're even more retarded than you think. This woman is retarded. If she truly believes that I have been responsible for millions of deaths, that I somehow sabotage deals for David Wilcock's shady aerospace, who's being sued by creditors, who's being sued by investors, who just got evicted from a part of their property for letting a sewage company illegally dump fill, then she's retarded. And I stand by the use of that word. And when people think it's all fun and games and there's no harm to David Wilcock running around saying these things about me, Look at the effect on the retarded. David Wilcock is directly manipulating retarded people. He's turning retards against me on the internet. And I, for one, am not going to stand for it anymore. David Wilcock is retarded, and his followers are retarded. You have to be to believe that I killed millions of people or that I screwed up deals with the shady aerospace company that's been in business for 30 years but has yet to ever produce a single product or service. Not sorry, right? Okay, so we'll check in with the live chat. We'll check in with the goal. We'll check in with the live chat. We have Mr. Fart Sniff World. He just likes me to have to say that. Got my tax return today, and I figured I'd praise the cash by tossing in a 50. I hope this 25 finds you well. Maybe this $10 can get you Arby's. I think he made a math error there, Mr. Fart Sniff World, or he's going to throw them in all separately so that I have to keep saying that name over and over again. Spooky says art is fun. And Dave B says international arrest warrant. Yeah. And listen, that these people who believe David Wilcock are morons, right? Yeah, it's a description. It's not an insult. So I'm safe. Thank you, Colin Grant. So just checking in here with the goal. We're at 18 of 50. Man, I really screwed the pooch here doing the not posting the goal until later. And I apologize for that. So, I don't know what to say about somebody this stupid. Like, what am I supposed to say in response to that? And by the way, I'm an angel and I'm also a carnivore vegan. How are you? You can't be both, honey. So, I don't know. Pardon me. I love how apparently weak-minded David Wilcock's followers are. Like he says, David Wilcock says, oh, he calls me a grifter and a con artist, but it turns out he's stealing money from my bank account. She's calling me a con artist now, right? That girl is too dumb to be walking around in public, and we ought to call in a wellness check on her, right? Her nonsense deserves no response. Well, Arlene, there's 10 other morons that David Wilcock has brainwashed and manipulated into believing this stuff about me. So I feel like I have to comment on it at least, right? Wilcock is using magic to choke me. Could be black magic, right? He's using a force choke. All right, so I've got a bunch more stuff to share. Yeah, I'm getting force choked to death by David Wilcock's magic. Okay. We'll share this instead. Okay, so I just want to put on the record some stuff about disclosure morons. Because these disclosure morons have been waiting and predicting disclosure coming for a long time. Splink is here with a kind and generous $10. Says, unrelated, I love the mention of Nifty 50s in one of your latest episodes. Love the burgers, and whenever I'm close to a location for work, I have to stop. Good stuff, mate. Keep up the good work. They used to be customers of mine. They got all their supplies from the company that I worked for, and I used to have to go and deal with them and get checks from them. Good company, right? I liked it, and I sure love their food. Nifty 50s is awesome. If you're ever in the Pennsylvania, New Jersey, I think they even have some in Delaware area. I'm not sure how many locations they're up to now, but it's like a 50s diner themed burger joint, and they've got burgers and milkshakes and fries and 100 kinds of drinks. It's really a great place. Thank you, Splink. I appreciate that. Yeah. So let's get back to the presentation. Oh, I'm sorry. In July 2024, Matthew Pines, executive director of the Bitcoin Policy Institute, predicted that the coup de grace, or coup de grace, of UFO disclosure would occur by the end of 2024 via someone everyone would recognize. I guess the prophecy never happened, because this is what happens. These disclosure dorks say that things are going to happen, the things never happen, and then they just move the goalpost.
So Lue Elizondo's book, in fact, I read the first few chapters already. The full book hasn't come out. It's going to be a wild book, I'll tell you that.
What's it called?
It's called Imminent.
Oh, the Imminent book. Okay.
Yeah. It's called Idiots, because if you believe anything in Lue Elizondo's book, then you're a moron and an idiot.
And so, but then that's going to trigger these documentaries, other people, and then I believe the coup de grace will be coming sometime this year with someone that everyone would recognize if they watch, if they paid attention to the news, you would know this person.
Oh, great. It's going to happen by the end of the year. Did I miss it? Did we miss it when it happened? Yeah, and he's on the Jake Barber. Pines, a very vocal supporter of UFO disclosure, recently joined Skywatcher HQ as an advisor. Skywatcher is a team of UFO believers who claim to use psychic powers to summon UFOs and aliens. Great. After 2024 ended with no such coup de grace, Pine updated his prediction to happening by the end of February 2025. A former senior government official goes on the record about UAPs in an unprecedented way. Yeah, so now he said it would happen by the end of February. Did we miss it again? Did we miss it again? We missed it. We just totally missed it again. And of course, though, when you get into UFO grifting, one thing you'll figure out is that there's no shortage of new documentaries. So Lue Elizondo is going to be in a new documentary. And just to put on the record about Lue Elizondo, the people making these disclosure predictions, they never stop, right? It's always, it's coming. It's coming any day now. Any day now, we're going to get UFO disclosure. This is Lue Elizondo and all the various things he said. December 2017, we may not be alone. August 2018, I think disclosure already occurred. April 2019, a lot of people ask me, so do you think disclosure has occurred? And I think it has occurred. I guess we missed it. We all missed it. December 2021 is shaping up to be a banner year. May 2021, pay attention for the next 30 days. I think this conversation is about to get real interesting. January 2022, I think 2022 is going to be an even better year. We've got so many things planned. Yeah, documentary deals, book deals, TV show deals. January 2022, the best is yet to come. We may be reaching critical mass. December 2022, if you think these are exciting times, just wait for 2023. You ain't seen nothing yet. October 2023. Keep the faith. Much, much more is coming. It's coming, and soon. November 2023. Yet another step forward in the disclosure process. January 2024. There is no going back. This is going to be an interesting year. May 2024. We are now one step closer to an irreversible milestone towards disclosure. You see, the grifting, greedy scumbags that are selling you this false reality called disclosure, which, by the way, will never come. It will never happen. They have to keep you interested. So they're always, most people call it dangling the carrot. They're always dangling the carrot. Come on, we're going to show you the alien. Oh, no, you just missed the aliens. Next year, oh, this will be the year of disclosure. We're going to show you the, we didn't show you the aliens. Damn. You were dumb and you thought that you could believe us when we said disclosure is going to happen, right? Big things are always coming to these people. They're constantly saying that big things are coming. But isn't it interesting that the big things never come? And now we know that many of the disclosure advocates who were talking about this crystal clear triangular UAP emerging from the ocean, yeah, that doesn't exist. So those people were all lying to you. So, just to sum up, what we've got here is we've got a lot of liars, right? And we'll share this next. This is the latest of the documentaries, right? The Age of Disclosure by Dan Farah has been officially selected to premiere March 9th. For the first time, the public will see the undeniable truth behind the bipartisan disclosure effort and profound impact this has had on the future of humanity. This is a mainstream moment. Commercial distribution plans are still in the works. In other words, it's going to be on Hulu or some shit. This is not a mainstream moment. This is bullshit. But it just goes to show you that no matter how many times these losers get caught lying to people, get caught selling fake spaceships or, laser pointer, spirit orbs, alien orbs, no matter how many times all these losers keep getting caught lying, there's still always a documentary deal for them. So this is fair use. This is a transformative work. And somehow they got Marco Rubio in this. And the paragon of telling the truth, James Clapper, is in this. You remember him. He's the guy that signed that thing about the Hunter Biden laptop, saying it was Russian disinformation. And he lied to the American people about all that mass surveillance going on. Suddenly, he got an attack of the truths, and now he's going to tell us the truth about the aliens after lying to us about everything else for years. Great stuff.
The American people are ready to receive the truth.
All right, so far we've seen 3 fake UFOs that are nothing special. Now we've got Tim Gallaudet, who never saw anything while he was in the Navy, whose daughter talks to, let's see, his daughter can talk to ghosts and spirits, and she sees orbs and can summon spaceships and talk to people's dead relatives because she has superpowers. Seems real credible so far. Let's see what else they got.
Humanity is not the
We're only 10 seconds into the shit show.
only intelligence in the universe. Humanity is not the only intelligent species. We are.
Okay, so both of these people say humanity is not the only intelligent species. This is called fake facts. When you say something is a fact, but you don't provide the evidence to support that these are actually facts, those are fake facts. So far we've got fake UFOs, one wackadoo whose daughter sees spirits and ghosts and she can talk to people's dead relatives. She has superpowers. And then we see Eric Davis. Remember we talked about him earlier in the broadcast. A fountain of fake UFO lore and mythology for a decade now, at least. He says we're not the only intelligent species. Great.
Absolutely not alone. Non-human intelligence exists.
Yeah. All these people saying the same thing without any of them having evidence doesn't hold more weight. But if you're a moron, right, and you go, oh, this Navy guy said that aliens are real. This other guy, Carl Nell, he was Army guy. He said the aliens are real. The scientists said the aliens are real. These are not regular people. These are all true believer wackadoos.
UAPs are real, they're here, and they're not human.
Yeah. And this guy works for To the Stars Academy, who scammed the American public out of millions of dollars, promising to build everybody, what was it? A spaceship with a revolutionary power source that would change the world. They also lied to investors or made investors believe that they had pieces of alien spaceships and they were going to do all the analysis and drop all that data. Yeah, it turns out that they had a piece of a missile casing from the 1950s. Wasn't alien, wasn't anything special.
I spent 25 years as a senior official with the CIA.
Yeah, there's nothing like getting the truth out of a CIA guy. And then, again, remember when I said it's all the same people? It's all the same core group of people, and then they get a couple of their newer friends to come along with them. Here's Hal Puthoff, the guy who was fooled by magic tricks into believing psychic powers are real, who also believes that he has superpowers. Superpowers he got by taking Scientology courses.
Worked on highly classified UAP programs.
28 years as an astrophysicist.
Yeah, 28 years as an astrophysicist. And his crowning achievement is doing a report for the Air Force. Eric Davis, I'm talking about, this guy. And when he was done with that report, they said that he does crackpot research, pseudoscience. It's not science, what he does. And he also works for Hal Puthoff, who's been involved in anti-gravity scams, techno scams in the form of To the Stars Academy, free energy scams, and more. Great. There's real credible people that we have here. No, it's the same group of wackadoos that have been doing this for decades and never proving anything. And many of them have been involved in efforts. Many of these people have been involved in, let's just say, financially exploitative things around aliens and UFOs for a long time.
As an astrophysicist.
I served as the fourth.
Oh, James Clapper.
Director of National Intelligence.
Director of Aviation Security in the National Security Council.
The one-star admiral after 32 years of service.
People that come forward with this, I feel like they've taken their life in their own hands.
Yeah, and I don't care about Tim Gallaudet being a one-star admiral. He saw nothing while he was in the Navy. So, and he believes his daughter has superpowers. He's read a lot of UFO and alien books. He pals around with all these other wackadoos. You know, it sounds good on the surface of it. Oh, I've been an astrophysicist for 32 years. And I'm telling you that we're aliens are visiting Earth. Great. Can you show us some evidence? Well, no, but I've been a physicist for 32. It doesn't matter. Your credentials don't matter. You know what matters? Evidence. And there seems to be an extreme shortage of evidence, but no shortage of stories.
I was recruited to a highly sensitive government program.
No, he wasn't. He never ran a government program. This is consumer fraud. And the filmmaker, this is just my opinion, and I realize that I have a very extreme opinion. But if you're going to put Lue Elizondo in a documentary that you say is a true story, and he says that he ran a government UFO program, and we can verifiably prove that he never ran a government UFO program, then you should be arrested. You should have to forfeit all the profits from this project because this is consumer fraud. In my opinion, you're lying to people with the inclusion of the fake Pentagon UFO program director from the land of make-believe. He never ran. He wasn't recruited into a UFO program. He never ran a UFO program. He is a lying, grifting, scumbag profiteer who has sucked, him and his friends collectively, we know for a fact, just TTSA sucked millions of dollars. They defrauded investors based on fake stories, fake resumes, fake claims of what they had in their possession, fake claims of building spaceships.
That investigated unidentified aerial phenomenon.
There you go. He claims he was recruited into a government group that No, he wasn't. He was never recruited. He took it upon himself to have a hobby, looking up UFO stuff while he worked at the Pentagon. People who did work on the real program, OSAP, have come on the record and say that he had no involvement with OSAP. He said he had no involvement with OSAP.
For over 16 years, on behalf of the U.S. government, I worked as a senior intelligence official on the unidentified aerial phenomenon topic.
We learned that the U.S. government was involved in a long-running secret war with other nations.
Oh, come on. There's a secret war. Let's go.
To collect and reverse engineer vehicles not made by humans.
I have seen...
Again with the alien crash retrieval stuff, right? And this is something new. This person never said up until this documentary anything like this. And the UFO crash retrieval narrative has been going for decades. And no one has provided a single shred of actual, real, physical, or verifiable evidence to support the claim that the United States government is in possession of any alien crash retrievals or technology.
Seen with my own eyes, non-human craft and non-human beings.
This is brand new. This guy's been around for a long time, and he's just now deciding he's going to tell the public he saw non-human craft and beings with his own eyes. Seems a little convenient. New documentary. We need some fantastic claims. What are we going to get people to say? Is he going to have evidence? I predict no. He's going to have a story. Just like all these other grifting scumbags, all they have is stories. Worthless video, debunked.
There's a whole fleet of them.
The first country that cracks the code on this technology will be the leader for years to come.
China has established its own version of a UAP task force.
You think for a second
that any nation should have a UAP task force because they can't have unidentified things flying around in their sky. It's a national security issue. That doesn't mean aliens are visiting us. This is a false equivocation.
They wouldn't consider using it to achieve their ends of domination.
This is similar to the Manhattan Project. This is the atomic weapon on steroids.
This is...
Gotta love the dramatic music. It's just a little too much for me.
So secret. Very, very few people in our entire government have been allowed access to it.
Yeah, this is the old argument. This is top secret, 27 levels above the president. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. Now, has there been times when people withheld things from the president? Sure, probably for purposes of plausible deniability. Iran-Contra comes to mind. But there is no level of top secret above the president. And if the president wants to be briefed on any project within the United States government, secret, top secret, USAP, SAP, or otherwise, he gets that information. But these UFO people, for years, in my experience, they're all saying that, like, even the president doesn't know about this. Bullshit. Bullshit.
Even presidents have been operating on a need-to-know basis.
There you go. Even Marco Rubio's dumb enough to repeat this false talking point that has been repeated ad nauseum in the UFO community for decades, but nobody's ever been able to prove that that's the case.
But that begins to ramp out of control.
It's not acceptable to have secret parts of government that no one ever sees.
You better be careful about a government that doesn't trust its people, because there's no telling what they'll pull.
And Tim Pritchett is a true believer moron, right? This guy totally believes all this stuff, and he's a goddamn congressman.
On you.
This is the biggest discovery in human history.
Oh, look, how many people that were involved in the TTSA techno scam that scammed millions of dollars out of the UFO community are involved in this documentary? Christopher Mellon, he was involved in that. What has been described as a techno scam. They collected millions of dollars. They never did anything they told investors they would do. Where did all that money go? But here they go, right back to, let's make a new documentary and grift some more money off of morons.
You had information being locked away that could change the trajectory for species.
It has so many beneficial impacts, including clean energy.
Oh, yeah. If we just had the UFO technology, we'd all live in a utopian world because we'd all have free energy. Free energy is a myth, another scam that is often tied to UFO scams. Kind of like Ashton Forbes started grifting out on fake UFO videos. Then he started grifting on free energy scams. David Wilcock grifted about aliens and UFOs. Then he started grifting about free energy devices. Stephen Greer started out grifting on aliens and UFOs. Then he started running literal scams. Stephen Greer collected $500,000 in a free energy scam. Where did that money go? Billy Carson had a free energy scam for a while. First Class Space Agency. The free energy scam is directly tied to UFO scams and scammers and has been for decades. It's against the laws of physics. It's science fiction. Free energy doesn't exist. And believe me, I've looked.
Energy.
We should have disclosure today. We should have disclosure tomorrow. The time has come.
If this stuff is copyrighted, I'm going to be pissed. I forgot to check the age of disclosure. Yeah. Except that it's been the age of disclosure for decades now. And the only thing that these grifters ever disclose is that they really like money. They really like TV show deals. They really like documentary film deals. They really like book deals. They really like live speaking deals, right? Where they get money for telling these stories to a live audience, right? They really like that UFO money. That's what the age of disclosure really means. That's what they disclose, that they always need more money, right? And, for some of these people, listen, if they had evidence, if Lue Elizondo had any real evidence, wouldn't he have put it in his first TV show deal? He didn't. What he had is stories, right? And then you think he would put the evidence in his book. He didn't. He just put stories in there. But now we've got another documentary that will, in my opinion, this will be another UFO circle jerk with people telling stories, no real evidence presented, right? But let's tell the story. And what they're not telling you is that this group of wackadoos has managed to pressure and manipulate some parts of the United States government into entertaining their grifting nonsense evidence-free stories. How much government money? We know the government wasted $22 million on OSAP. How much government money was wasted on these 2 hearings with so-called whistleblowers, none of which had any real evidence? How much money are we going to waste? And I always say this. These are a group of people that believe aliens are visiting Earth, but they're somehow able to manipulate the United States government into wasting millions of dollars to confirm things that they believe but have no evidence for. Imagine if a group of people that believed that aliens and leprechauns were real started lobbying the United States government and demanding that the United States government disclose all they know about unicorns and leprechauns. And then they got the government to spend millions of dollars looking for leprechauns and unicorns. Wouldn't people be upset? But yet somehow this group of morons and true believing idiots that have no evidence, collectively, they have not a shred of evidence. All of these people, they've got lots of stories, but no evidence. How much money are we willing to waste before the American public says, no, we're not wasting, show us the evidence. We're not wasting more government money chasing shadows, or another analogy would be a dog chasing its own tail, looking for evidence of aliens that you claim exists but don't have yourself. It's like they're so desperate, they're sure that in some government warehouse somewhere, there's proof of aliens, right? They don't know where it is. They don't know what that evidence is, but they want to force the government to show us the evidence they're so sure is there, but they can't prove is there. It's absolutely ridiculous. Same stories. You'll be celebrating the 25-year release of the Tic Tac videos, and there will still be zero change or evidence. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I think that's all I got for you, friends. And I'll take some comments and questions from the live chat. Because of my blunder, it doesn't look like we're hitting the goal tonight, but that's really my fault. I will consider that we did. We're at 19 of 50 for the super chat goal. I will check in with the PayPal pledges. We'll check in with the Kick chatters. Welcome, Kick.com viewers, and thank you all for your kindness, generosity, and support. 1 second. Let me make sure I'm not sharing anything I shouldn't. There we go. So I will check with the PayPal pledges. For those unaware, besides sending super chats, becoming a member or Patreon supporter. By the way, I'd like to have a Patreon drive. Our Patreon support is dropping. It's only $1 a month. So if you really want to help our show, a great way to do it is to go to patreon.com, and the link is in the description of the video here. Okay, we have Maria with kind and generous $100 PayPal, who says, great shows lately, keep it up, and I hope you start making more shows a week again like you used to. Yeah, we're trying to do that. But, we like to have quality shows. So I really don't want to do too many shows if it's going to degrade the quality of the shows. We got to have good information to share, and good information is one of the most important things here for us. But thank you, Maria, for your kindness, generosity, and support. The MVP of PayPal pledges. Thank you, Maria. So I'm going to go over to kick.com and I got it muted over there. And we'll check in. Check in and see if we've got any. Oh, what is that about? I'm getting echo here. Just bear with me. Okay. Okay, let's see. March 4th, we got 2 gifted subs. Let's get some subs over there on Kick. Thank you, guys. Acid Roach gifted 1 subscription. And Clydesdale gifted 1 subscription. And not long ago, Iron Chef Sakai Real gifted 10 subscriptions. So thanks to all of you guys over there on Kick. It's another great way to support the show. We appreciate you. Thanks for appreciating us. I'll check in with the Buy Me a Coffee as well. That's another great way to support our show. It's really Buy Me a Beer over there. But that may be changing. My wife is really, she's adamant that I quit drinking again. She says I was a better man when I wasn't drinking at all. Okay, we're all caught up on that. Yeah, so we've done our due diligence, but I'll take... Yeah, Arlene Atkins says, think about which Congress people are on these task force. It's the ones that are not in the core group of entrenched Congress people. It's keeping them out of their way by creating a distraction. A very good point, right? Cthulhu Agent, I think that's Cthulhu Gent 247 says David Wilcock is a 220. Yeah, absolutely. Calling Greer a liar makes Lue seem like he's telling the truth. Not. Yeah, it's one of those things. So questions or comments for me, please put them in all capital letters. We're going to wrap things up here. But I'll be back tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm still hoping that I'm going to make it to the cabin this week. Haven't been there in months. It's been a very harsh winter there. And for those unaware, I don't have a 4-wheel drive vehicle yet. I'm hoping to get one soon. So making it from the main road is always clear. But I got to go down these gravel and dirt roads to get to the cabin from the main road. And if there's too much snow and ice, it's very dangerous. One year I ended up in a ditch. And ever since then, I'm very cautious about... I just slid right down this hill into this ditch on the side of the road. It took the tow truck guy a couple hours to crank it out of there. And Lue Elizondo is here and says, see you in court, Cambion. Wilcock is not the only one who is suing, right? Yeah. Launching David live in 5, says Foxy's Friends. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Foxy's Friends, thanks to Foxy's Friends, who's been making a bunch of funny Wilcock content for us to share. We appreciate your help and support, right? This moron girl is still at it. Angels incarnate as walk-ins. They also incarnate spontaneously, as well as from birth. You're not an angel. You're a moron, lady. You're not an angel. You're just a moron, right? You're a moron and a wackadoo. But this is the danger. Listen, the problem is that David Wilcock's followers are dumb as rocks. So when he says something, they worship him and just believe him. Never mind that the guy's been caught lying thousands of times in the past 20 years and making up fake stories for money. Principally, all the secret space stories were fake. And we know that now. So this moron girl who thinks she's an angel incarnate and is telling people that I'm responsible for the deaths of millions of people, I mean, it's just too stupid. It's just too stupid. It's just too stupid. This whole thing is just too stupid. So I've tried to give you a little update on all the biggest UFO grifters. And yes, I'm sure we've left a lot of them out. Linda Moulton Howe still the grandma grifter. Stephen Greer's still good. The grift never ends. The scams never end. There's always a new book to sell, a new documentary that you need to promote, which has no evidence, right? There's always something new to sell, but they never seem to come up with any evidence. Funny that, right? But don't worry, we've got lots of stories for you. It really is just a form of entertainment for morons. If you're the kind of moron that's just going to believe somebody's story without doing any due diligence or researching it yourself, then UFOs is a great topic for you. But if you're somebody that actually wants the facts and evidence behind the stories to support that the stories are true, forget about it. You're never going to get it. And where is this going? One place it's going is nowhere. Because lately, John from the Black Vault just mentioned this, and I tweeted it. You can follow me on X at Stephen Cambion. Even longtime supporters of these people and their narratives are starting to write op-ed pieces saying that they were misled and there's nothing to this, that none of these people have any evidence. So finally, even the bottom feeder, Spooky mentioned trickle-down griftonomics on the thumbnail tonight. Trickle-down griftonomics is that all the main people that we've talked about tonight, they've all got these bottom-feeding podcasters and show hosts, and they all get together and talk and do the circle jerk, and then the show host gets a little bit of the grift money, a little bit of the UFO dollar pie, and all they got to do is keep their mouths shut about the fact that these morons all have collectively, all these people together have zero evidence of anything. They've got some tantalizing maybe proof, but they never have actual proof. High Speed Chase is here and said, I have never heard of a meat-eating vegan. Me neither, but she's also an angel, so maybe angels eat meat. Who knows, right? Just ridiculous. Tybley says, I haven't either, I tell you. I will never date one, no matter how hot she is. A wackadoo? Yeah, you got to avoid crazy bitches, right? Crazy bitches should be avoided at all costs, man, because they'll screw up your life. You get stuck in a relationship with a crazy bitch, your life is going to take a turn for the worst. I know. I've had some crazy. Well, I've been very lucky with my wife. She's crazy too, but you know, you got to get the crazy level you can deal with, right? And my children have been sick, so my wife has been home helping me and taking care of them. I have a pretty good wife, right? Yeah. Grazi, I'm not going to read it, but I'll share it. Yeah, don't do it. Don't put your D in crazy. Don't do that, right? So what can I say, friends? We've done our due diligence. We want to thank you, YouTube channel members, Patreon supporters, PayPal pledgers, people buying me a coffee, you Kick subscribers. Thanks to you Kick subscribers, I got an extra paycheck last month. Thank you all so much for your kindness, generosity, and support. You PayPal pledgers, people buying me a coffee, all of you. But remember, that's not the only way to support us. The best thing that you could do to support us, and it costs nothing, smash the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. If for no other reason that when kind and generous people gift memberships, you can get a free membership. But besides that, be sure to like the videos, share them on your social media. It really does help our reach, and I appreciate every time I see one of you on Twitter or Facebook sharing our videos on your social media. It helps bring new people in, and certainly that will benefit us. So thank you all for your kindness, generosity, and support. Mr. Fart Sniff World, who's going to make me say that again. In high school, this chick I wanted to go with is a new Age Expo, so I tagged along. Once I saw how into it she was, I decided it wasn't worth it. Yeah, you know, when I was a kid, Mr. Fart Sniff World, when I was younger, there was a lot of what we called bisexual Wiccan poets. These girls were all new agey, and they all had tarot cards and witchcraft books and said they were Wiccan, and they wrote poetry, and they liked to say they were bisexual. But I would always challenge them, like, do you do oral on women? And they all would say no. I'm like, well, then you're not bisexual, because if you were bisexual, you'd be munching some carpets. They all just like kissed, and I think they liked the trendiness of saying that they were bisexual without actually having to, lick the kitty. If you're gonna say you're a woman and you like sex with women, then you're gonna have to lick some kitties. That's just my opinion, and I'm entitled to it. If you don't lick the kitty and then you're just a faux bisexual girl. So yeah, on that strange note, yeah, but there was a lot of them, and I wouldn't play along, so I didn't do so well with those girls. I would just get disgusted. Like, you don't have magic superpowers, honey. Witchcraft doesn't do much. I mean, it's a belief system, but It is what it is. So we've done our due diligence. I'm going to bounce on out of here, but I'll be back tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope you'll be here with me. No place I would rather be. And I haven't decided, but I think we're doing another Dark Side filled pig roast tomorrow. So come and be our guest to look in on one of the most hated e-beggars on the internet. He said some wild stuff in the past couple of days. It should be a fun show. So that's all I got for you, friends. Until next time, my name is Stephen Cambian. Good night and God bless all of you.